Welcome back to Home Improvements. Today is tile day. We completed the framing on the electric fireplace built-in. Epic. Came out really nice. So today we're just basically gonna throw up some backer board and throw up some tile. Here's a couple of things you're gonna need if you plan on tackling this project at home. Here we go. First things first, you're gonna need a few buckets. One for clean water to wipe down the tiles as you set them, and one for your thin set to adhere the tiles to the wall. Then you're going to need a mixing paddle. This kind is great because it's powered by a drill and works like a charm. For about 15 bucks from Lowe's, it's a no-brainer. Then you're going to need some grout for in between the tiles after they've set for at least 24 hours. Mix that baby in said bucket with said mixer, and you're golden. You're going to need some sort of rubber float to squish the grout as deep in between the tiles you can. Don't be stingy here. Get it on in there. And of course, you're going to need some sort of tile spacers to set the tiles apart at your desired width. I plan this build out to have 1/8-inch spacers to hopefully line up perfectly around the fireplace without doing any cuts. Oh yeah, and you're going to need a notch trowel to set your thin set on the wall as well. Forgot to shoot an epic shot of my trowel and then I threw it away. So enjoy this picture of a trowel you can buy at Lowe's for your viewing pleasure. It's the exciting part of the day. Framing is completed, onto the tile. What I've done is I've got it all laid out. I'll show you, kind of around the shop a little bit. So I get a bunch of tile over there, and then I get the rest of my tile kind of stacked up nicely over here. I just took just a clean rag, wipe these things down because they are concrete tiles. What I'm going to do now is seal these babies first. It's just an easier way to do it. I'm using this water-based sealer, premium, no big deal. Stuff's really good. I'm going to seal these first, so that way when I put them up, the mortar isn't going to get on them, and then tomorrow when we do the grout, hopefully the grout isn't going to get all over them. So they're going to look nice and new. Put them up, you can clean them down really easy, and then they'll be good to go. So here we go. I'm going to be just using a fresh, brand new, clean kitchen sponge. I'm going to be dabbing this on there. I'm going to just wipe these down nice and even. Nice clean coat on all. We'll go from there.
Time is filled with swift transition. Put yourself in good position if you want. Things can go your way. Ain't no time to smell the roses. Gotta get to where to go. The road's already been paved. Here I go, ready or not. I'm coming for you. Can't nothing stop me. I got some things I gotta do. Hey.
Alright, so I got my sheet of Hardy Backer. That's what the tile's going to attach to. So we're going to attach this to the framing and then mortar our tiles to this. These sheets come in at 3x5. I basically just need it as a 4x4, so it's going to be very simple for me. I'm just going to basically cut that bottom foot off, and that's more or less the whole outside frame I'm going to need. Once that's done, I'm going to cut out that notch for the fireplace, go upstairs and install it, and we're ready for tile. So the thing I personally like about the Hardy board as opposed to like a Durock, the Durock, once you cut it, it's made with a mesh on both sides and falls apart really easy. So if you're making kind of intricate cuts or sometimes the corners, this stuff is just so much easier to work with. You can cut this with a grinder or you can cut this with a knife. That's what I'm going to do. The grinder just cooks up a ton of dust. The knife just works as well. Score it a couple times, it'll snap nice and easy, and you're good to go. Well, remember how I told you guys that I love using this stuff because you can just use a knife to cut it? Well, sometimes things change, and I'm going with the grinder because it's going to be so much faster. So here we go.
I'm making a move.
Alright, Charles. We got the Hardy Backer all cut for the tile. We're going to be securing this with some 1 5/8. These are called rock-on screws. They have like a Climacoat coating to them, so it's like a ceramic coating to keep these things from rusting out once we put that wet mortar over the top of them to adhere the tiles to. 1 5/8, which is probably a little overkill for what we need, but they're nice because they sit flush, they sit flat. That's not going to get in focus. So throw some of these in, and then now this thing will be good to go. Ready to basically mix up my mortar mix. They do make mortar mix specific for concrete tiles, but honestly, I couldn't find any. I went to Home Depot and Lowe's, so I ended up just with the tried and true Ultraflex one, just a tile mortar. It has some polymer in it, so it has some elasticity in it, allows it to move a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that up, and then get these tiles ready to set. Got the tiles ready, got my beautiful wife Tara ready. Mortar mix is all set. That's good to go. With the concrete tiles, you really want to soak the back of these because they're so porous. So we have just a bucket of clean water. We're going to use that to sponge the back. We're going to put some mortar on the wall, and then we're going to back butter the tiles, set these in. We got just some squared off 1/8-inch spacers, and we have our center line on the wall, so we're going to basically center off of that. I know that first course is going to be basically level, so my fireplace is going to sit on there, and we're going to work our way up.
Yeah, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I got this feeling, yeah. Got this feeling, yeah. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I'm making a move. Study long, study wrong. Ain't nothing gonna happen on its own. I'm making a move. Don't need no hickeys for this song. I got joy all through my soul. I'm making a move. Get up, get out. Mr. Sun is shining on me. I'm making a move. Got my lucky charms, gotta move along. Yeah, I'm making a move. Might as well choose the day to live. I'm making a move. I'm making a move. Move out my way, devil.
Tiling is complete. That was a bitch. Thank you to my beautiful wife, Sarah. There she runs off. Oh man, that was tricky. The tiles are super heavy, and there's no way to put a ledger board on the bottom there by the ground. So it was basically going against the carpet, and the carpet just kept sinking, and tiles kept maneuvering and wiggling. So we kind of had to let that first row set up before we could kind of do the rest. But super pumped, love this tile, and tomorrow we'll hit grout. And tomorrow we'll hit grout. Tomorrow we'll do grout. Tomorrow we'll do the grout.